every laugh, every smile, every hug, every kiss, every touch, every person in my life that I care about and love. But wait, maybe I'm getting too emotional. That's exactly what they say you ain't supposed to do. Suppress your feelings, never talk about your pain. Can't appreciate the sun without acknowledging it rains, right? That's right. So this a moment of clarity. And make sure you always protect your energy. You stay focused and your life gon' be lit. And you are now rocking with Celeste, the therapist. Let's go.
Hey, hi, beautiful people. If you are watching me on the replay, thank you so much for watching me. My name is Celeste. I'm a therapist from Boston. If you've never been in here before, I've been doing my podcast on video for the last 4 weeks. And the goal behind my podcast is to just talk to people that are doing things to empower other people. I kind of share their story. And I decided that I wanted to come on the video to bring the people to you, because I know everyone's kind of stuck at home. Hey, Missy. I know everybody's kind of stuck at home, so I really wanted to do that. Also, I kind of wanted to just let people know about this crisis text line. I always put this up in every show. I am a therapist, so I'm like very familiar with how our minds, bodies, and spirits and all of that can be affected. So one of the ways that you can connect to somebody is this text crisis line, 741-741. You can be connected to a crisis counselor, and it's free. So that's good. So I've had so many different people come on my podcast, and I've never had anyone come on to talk about your facial care, things like that. So I'm really excited to have this person come on to kind of have a conversation with us. I really want to know like how she got started with her business and why she's so passionate about skincare. I don't have a routine that I utilize, so it's going to be an interesting conversation. And I'm going to bring the owner of Barefacedstore to the stream right now. Hello. How are you? Can you please introduce yourself to the people?
Yes, hi, my name is Ayan. I am Barefaced owner. And pretty much what I do is handcraft all skincare products for my line. I make everything with love and everything from home.
Oh, that's so cute. Congratulations on owning your own store. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Can you tell people about like how you got started in skincare? I feel like there's so many different products out there. So I think it can be overwhelming for people to try to figure out what they want to use. But how did you say like, you know what, I want to create my own line?
Yeah, so I actually had issues with my skin. I used to model and I was always self-conscious about acne or different marks. I've tried so many skincare products that I felt was very overpriced. Even dermatologists would recommend like Neutrogena or Dove or Mederma, things to get rid of, bad acne or anything wrong with your skin, like dark marks. Because, as a Black woman, we sometimes keloid. Keloid has been an issue a lot in Black women. And that's a big thing also with like doing the laser. So
what is keloid?
Keloid is when you if you get a scratch,
Okay.
it'll leave a dark mark.
Okay.
And it's like ridiculous. You can't even get off. And some people keloid more than others, meaning like it just, you scratch up or you have a little bruise and it'll stay there for a very long time, may not even go away.
Okay.
And the use of the product, I've realized that using lemon juice, that was my very first product, was lemon.
How did you know to use lemon juice? Like, what made you decide to try that?
So I did a little bit of research in the beginning when I was younger, like, oh, let me find something that, the YouTube and seeing people's DIYs. I thought it was really cool. Like do it yourself. But like I said, I was buying all these products and it was so much money going down the drain. So I was like, okay, this is ridiculous. None of these are working. So I started to create my own. And when I created my own, I started perfecting it over time. And then that's when it became.
Oh no, I just lost you. I lost you. Hold on. I don't know why I can't hear you. Oh, there you go. You said you started perfecting it over time and then.
Yep, perfecting over time. So in the beginning, the bars did not look like what they look like now.
What did they look like? Wait. Oh, because you have the bars, the soap bars.
Yeah, the soap bars. But as a beginner in soap, like even that, that's a start. No one in my family makes soap. So everything was like YouTube and my pots at home. And I'm like, all right, like I'm going to try and
What?
make it myself. And they came out really crazy in the beginning, but I've learned over time, okay, this is what you can and cannot do. But they ended up making really good. And honestly, they became so effective and so quick to the point that I would use the bar maybe 1 or 2 days and I would see a change like that within my skin.
Damn.
Yeah, I don't even buy soap anymore. I
Wow.
literally just use my own bar soap. And I used to be a person to always, put on a little bit of makeup before I went on a date or, didn't have the confidence to walk out with no makeup on. And now, I feel a lot more comfortable being out with no makeup.
Oh,
And my skin
wow.
has gotten so much better. I don't break out. I don't have that burn after using like Neutrogena, for instance. They have these pads that I used to use. After using it, everything would be great. But some people have the wrong idea of what a product working sensation feels like. When you use like a product, like for instance, like mint, sometimes it'll leave like a burning sensation, like you feel like a relief, like you're kind of
Uh-huh.
cold.
Uh-huh.
But that is due to the menthol, and that's okay. But if you're using like a Neutrogena pad for your face, and your face is burning, that's acidic. That's not good. So what it's doing is it's drying out your pores, and it's actually burning your skin.
Mm.
So that's not, yeah. So that's another thing. Like people have the wrong idea of how products usually work. People should do their research more on, what does that mean? What does that burning sensation mean when I'm using it? Because some people think, oh, it's working. That's why it's burning a little bit. Maybe it may not burn really bad, but it might
Uh-huh.
have like that sensation of like that little tingle.
What
So
are some of the other like products that you use inside of the things that you create?
as far as soap or like scrubs and
Yeah, soap, scrubs, like what kind
yeah,
of natural products are you? Because everything's natural, right?
everything's natural. So like the
Okay.
lemon bar is made with lemon juice. I cut the zest. I have like papaya bars. Everything's made out of exactly what it is. And the
Wow.
base that I use everything out of, I don't use any color dyes. Like all the bars have its own color from the fruit that it was used from. So
Wow.
I don't put any dyes or anything in the soaps. Everything is with glycerin base. So glycerin is actually a base that's very good for sensitive skin. It's
Okay.
really ideal. And I use that and I use also a goat milk base. And that's very good for moisturizing. So if you have dry skin or combination skin, it's very good to like moisturize and hydrate. So you want to make sure like, using lemon by itself is really bad. It's acidic for your skin. You don't ever want to use any product that's too strong. So putting it in the glycerin base actually helps it not, be too acidic on the skin. And it still gives it
Mm-hmm.
its moisturizing properties so that you can get all in one, like an all in one bar.
Can you like explain to people like why is it important for us to try to have some type of like skincare routine for our face? I
Yeah,
know like it's exposed to so many elements all day, but it's
yeah,
not the first thing I think about. Let me create a routine for my skin for my
yeah.
face.
So my grandmother, she's actually very, very self-conscious. Being around her, hey Jude, being around her, she is a person who really takes her skin to a whole nother level. And she's aged, but you don't see that. That comes with time of consistently taking care of your skin. Wrinkles or just making sure your skin's brightened up and, looking alive and looking like
Mm,
yourself and building up that confidence. It's good to always have like a schedule of taking care of your skin, like a daily routine. I always say you don't need to do it every day. I mean, we're all busy. I would say 4 to 5 times a week is
okay.
always ideal.
What how could people look at this as a self-care type thing? Because the way when I think about all the smells that you talk about and the fact that we're caring for our skin, like how does that work with self-care, you think?
So when I think about self care, I think about just taking care of oneself, making sure you're
Hmm.
building up your confidence mentally, physically. And like I said, before I was doing the whole skincare routine, I always was putting on makeup. It made me a more confident person. So I definitely think that putting on, having like a skincare routine would definitely help with boosting your confidence and yeah, boosting your confidence and just helping with clearing your skin in general. It's always good to do that. Um, And it's good to, show other people what your skincare routine is, because not everyone has the same skincare routine. Everyone has different skin. So, yeah.
So did you have to do a lot of trial and error? Like, because it sounds like you're right, everybody does have different skin. So
Yeah.
something that might work on you may not work on me. Did you have
Right.
to do a lot of trial and error to figure out what your routine would look like?
For my routine, not too much. I knew that I really liked lemon, and I know I've said like the lemon bar, the lemon bar, the lemon bar, because I just couldn't believe that lemon really worked like that. I mean, to the
Uh-huh.
point where like it cleared up so much of my dark marks, and that was such a problem for me. Especially, I try to target like Black women, because I know it's hard to find products on the market that really help. So I know like African Black soap. And another thing that I realized about certain high-end brands, they have all these products and they say, it helps you with this and it's highly marked up. You buy it and it doesn't work. And like I said, a lot of them leave a burning feeling, and I don't think that's good at all. Like I said, it's burning your skin. It's acidic, and it's not good to use any acidic things. There are some acidic properties that are in natural ingredients that are good for you, but like I said, you should not be feeling that on your skin. So as long as you build products like that, I think everything will be fine. Everything natural.
Tell people a little bit about what they can find on your site, because when I went on there, you have a lot of different stuff. I'm like impressed the fact that you make this by yourself. Like that's very impressive. Tell
Yeah,
people a little bit
thanks.
about your website and like what they can find on there.
Yeah, so I after getting into the soaps, I started diving into the scrubs. I was never a scrub person at all. I try to make everything very it needs to be a little bit more constructive. Like, okay, this is the reason for this bar. I'm not just making bars just to make them to have
Ah,
the variety. Every bar has its own significance of how effective it is.
okay.
So, like for instance, the lemon bar is very good for brightening and acne. Then you have like the therapeutic bar, which is the calming lavender. It's very healing. It's a really nice bar in the morning. The pepachia bar. Try to be fun with the names. It's chia seed
Uh-huh.
and peppermint leaves and menthol in there, so you get that cooling relief, and it's very good for if you have eczema. The turmeric bar, which is very, very good. A lot of people use that for acne and dark marks as well. Really good for hyperpigmentation. So
Okay.
that's why I have like a variety of bars. With the scrubs, the same thing. They all have very good different benefits in each one. Some of the scrubs, like for instance, the Grandma's Choice is very, very, it's a bestseller for that one.
It's called
That one,
Grandma's Choice.
yeah, so I actually dedicated that to my grandmother.
So sweet.
That one is like roses and Himalayan salt. It's very, very soft, which is why I call it Grandma's Choice, because their skin is more delicate, whereas you want to have a type of scrub where it's softer, and I mean, as soon as you put it on, it makes your skin super soft. And it's very moisturizing. And you definitely see that glow. And then we have more of an abrasive, which is like the harder scrubs, which is like the oatmeal
Mm-hmm.
sugar cookie scrub. It
Mm-hmm.
literally smells like a bowl of sugar cookies.
Mm-hmm.
People love that one, and that one definitely helps with eczema or any type of problems with the skin. Yeah,
Oh
and
wow, that's
I was never a person that used scrubs, so it really does help if you have any stretch marks, if you have any just extra area fat, you just want to like exfoliate and get your skin really, really soft. That the scrubs is very good for that.
oh wow, that's awesome. It's so many different things
Hmm.
that you have been able to explore. How has it been as a business owner, kind of starting your business from scratch?
Coming from a family where everyone is very into education, which is okay and that's primary and that is what I'm always into regardless.
Yeah.
It was a bit tough, doing the entrepreneurial lane. Um, I would say just do whatever makes you happy.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you're passionate about it and it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
This is a business idea. I can make money from it. Then I would say do it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so that makes sense. And you find that it's your purpose. Like it sounds like because you've struggled with skin, like not feeling confident in your own skin, and you started dabbling a little bit, and then you were able to figure out like, wow, this works for me. And you want to bring that same kind of like moment to other women.
Yeah, so the mission of my company is about discovering the bare you, which is why I came up with Barefaced.
That's so
Just
good.
being bare, just being the raw you. I think, especially with me being an only child, I haven't had like someone to always connect with. So connecting with myself is very, very important to me, and I feel like that's important for everyone. So discovering the bare you means like discovering the inner self of you, discovering who you really are. You know, and I feel like
Hmm.
that's very important in anything that you want to do because people get lost, especially when you talk about school. Like people get lost in the whole college thing. Like, oh,
Hmm.
sometimes you're going to college, but is it because of you or because of someone else telling you that's okay and that's what you want to do? Like, you don't want to go 2 years in and realize that's not even what you want to do, or graduate and then you're like, okay, well, I'm not really happy. This is not what I want to do. This is
Hmm.
why discovering the bare you has a lot more to do with
Oh, that's
discovering
dope.
who you really are.
Oh,
So,
that's awesome. So you do different kind of, you must go to different events and kind of speak about it that way because you're making it
yeah,
more deeper. I think, yeah, looking good on the outside is good, but the inside part is even more powerful. I think it ends up radiating on the outside.
yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that's good. Well, I'm
Absolutely.
so grateful for you coming here to share this with me. Tell people how
Yeah.
they can reach you if they wanted to check out what you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. If you would like to reach me, please go on www.barefacedstore.com. Please join and subscribe. If you have any questions, feel free to email us, and we will definitely get back to you with any questions.
When people subscribe, like what can they expect from subscribing?
Yeah, so we actually we send out our emails, with exclusive deals, any sales, and we're going to be sending out more things, more intentional about, just more self care. That's what I want to do next is like kind of set up like a blog, and have it for
Nice.
like a member type of thing. So yeah,
Nice.
join the Bareface family.
That's awesome. It sounds like you're like growing it out as like you continue to do this business. You're coming up with like new ideas, which is
Absolutely, yeah, all the time. Yeah, evolving is always a part of it too.
yes, that's
Yeah,
awesome. Well, thank you so much for your transparency and like sharing that with me.
yeah,
I'm grateful for you for making this space for me, and so is my audience.
no problem.
All right,
Thank you.
bye. You're welcome. That was so good. I didn't know about all that stuff. I would love to see what her soap looked like when she first started. I'm sure she's grown a lot over the time that she's been doing this. So yeah, so you heard from the owner of Barefaced Store, and this is the first time I've had somebody come on to talk about like a facial routine. And I'm gonna check out the soaps that she has because they sound amazing. So if you know somebody or you're somebody that would want to share what you're doing or you empowering people in some kind of way, I would love to have you on. I think now more than ever, it's easy for us to get kind of stuck in this like negative space. I love the fact that she's an entrepreneur and she shared how her family comes from an educational background and taking the entrepreneur route is not always a direct route. It's not like, okay, you get this degree. In fact, actually now, even with college, it's not always direct anymore. Back in the day, it used to be. And I think you get this degree and then you get this job. And I think as an entrepreneur, there's a lot of like roadblocks. And the fact that like she built it just from like her needing her own kind of skin routine, to me, it's amazing. Would be something you and your daughter can do together? Yeah, I know, right? So I'm so grateful for her for being here. Before we go, I just want to remind people, if you're struggling with your mental health, please reach out to somebody, have a conversation. I think it's important. I put this book up on my social media. If you don't follow me on Instagram, I'm on Instagram as Celeste the Therapist. There's this book called Lost Connections by Johan Hari. I might be saying his name wrong. I'm gonna bring it up next time. It's called Lost Connections. I read it last year. It's super dope. It talks about depression and anxiety. He was somebody that he struggled with depression and anxiety for a long time. And all he did was take medication. That's all they told him. But he realized like he wasn't connected. Like he realized it was the lack of connections. And he went around the world and spoke to different people in different parts of the world and talked about like the lack of financial security, the lack of community, like the different things that can create this like way of how we feel, right? And so when I think about now, like this era that we're in, where we're not with community. I mean, we have the online thing, but sometimes you're kind of isolated. The lack of financial security, like all of these things can really get us in our head and create a space that makes it hard for us to feel like we can like push through. So I would really like kind of challenge you to like talk about it and don't allow it to just kind of stay in your head. This is a number that I always put up at the beginning. And if anybody has any other like ways that they've been able to cope, definitely share. But this one, 741-741, is a good one that you can text, speak to a crisis counselor. I think it's important for us to make sure that we are caring for ourselves, especially during this time, because it can be really hard. So thank you guys so much for joining another episode of Celeste the Therapist Podcast. This episode is going to be on the podcast. So if there are some things, this show has helped me. Oh, that makes me so happy. I'm so grateful for you being here. If there are some things that was said on here and you kind of want to write them down, you'll hear it on the podcast about like different skincare routines. And don't forget, you can visit her Barefacedstore.com, and you can find them on Instagram as well. I love you guys, and until next time, I'll talk to you later.
Every laugh, every smile, every hug, every kiss, every touch, every person in my life that I care about and love. But wait, maybe I'm getting too emotional. That's exactly what they say you ain't supposed to do. Suppress your feelings, never talk about your pain. Can't appreciate the sun without acknowledging it rains, right? That's right. So this a moment of clarity. And make sure you always protect your energy. You stay focused and your life gon' be lit. And you are now rocking with Celeste the Therapist. Let's go.